is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. New help is available for people in Dane County struggling to pay their bills because of the pandemic. Applications are live for an assistance program that can cover up to a year of back-owed rent. Madeline O'Neill tells us why leaders hope it'll help the whole community. Maddie?
Well, based on past requests, Dane County Executive Joe Parisi estimates the community-wide need for rental assistance to be at about $30 million or more. He says this program is the first step at addressing that.
And it is hitting those people very hard. And my heart goes out to them.
In Middleton, a city full of now emptier restaurants and hotels.
A lot of those jobs are just gone.
Mayor Gertie Brar knows rent demands haven't gone anywhere.
As a city, we can't do a whole lot. So
that's why he's excited about a program aiming to fill the gap for all of Dane County.
This has a ripple effect, right? I mean, it hurts the people who lose their apartment. It hurts the landlords, especially the smaller landlords who are depending on that rent to make their mortgage.
A partnership between Dane County, the City of Madison, and the Tenant Resource Center will distribute $15 million in new federal funds for renters in need.
We want to focus these dollars on people who are in trouble, who are, way behind on their rent, who are, facing the threat of eviction.
Tenants and their landlords can apply online.
In the first few hours of it being live today, there were over 1,300 applications. But if people are in need, if you're behind on your rent, please go and check out and see if you qualify to apply.
The Dane County Core program can cover up to 12 months of back-owed rent after the start of the pandemic last March, something leaders hope can have an impact right now.
Particularly for folks who are behind in the rent and for their landlords, at least the landlords will know now that, okay, this help is on the way.
It raises their hope.
This program is specifically for past due rent, not future. Now, all the information you need to apply is on the Tenant Resource Center's website. We have a link to that on channel3000.com as well. And Parisi expects more state and federal funds will soon be made available for rental assistance as well.
Maddie O'Neill reporting. Maddie, thank you. Wisconsin hit a milestone today with more than 1 million doses of COVID vaccine given to people across the state. The 24,000 doses administered in the last 24 hours pushed us over that benchmark. This comes as 657 new cases of the virus were reported. That's slightly higher than yesterday. We're also slowly seeing more people get vaccinated. Nearly 264,000, 4.5% of the state received their second doses. That's more than the number of people who live in the city of Madison. And in Dane County, nearly 7% of the population has now received 2 doses of a COVID vaccine. We're also seeing promising developments at local hospitals. Dr. Jeff Potoff says the number of patients getting COVID care at UW Health is 5 times less than the amount at its peak, and that since staff has gotten vaccinated, cases of COVID from staff member to staff member have fallen off almost entirely.
When I go to the emergency department back in November, it was a guarantee that I was going to see, 2, 3, 4, 6 patients with COVID, some requiring admission, some able to discharge. And now there's shifts in the ED where sometimes it's 1 or 2 or sometimes 0.
And when News 3 Now toured the UW Hospital COVID unit in November, it was over capacity. In fact, a second wing had just opened up just for patients who needed the most critical care. Today, the CDC is warning that new coronavirus variants could lead to a rapid rise in cases and can, quote, dangerously accelerate the trajectory of the pandemic. However, they say such an outcome is not inevitable, saying the U.S. and other countries do have the capability to prevent that outcome with a strong and immediate public health response. Overseas, children are being given the Oxford Astrazeneca coronavirus vaccine. This is a new trial in Britain. They say about 300 children between the ages of 6 and 17 are participating. Researchers hope to discover if the vaccine produces a strong immune response in children. And while kids tend not to get seriously ill from COVID, researchers believe vaccinating young people could slow the spread of the virus.
A lot of children are the ones being asymptomatic, and with the asymptomatic, there's risk of the infection spreading because people don't know that they're currently infected and carrying the virus.
I think uniformly, we all think that the vaccines, the leading vaccine candidates, are safe in the elderly, are safe in adults, and are safe in children.
U.S. health experts are investigating a rare but serious medical condition associated with COVID-19 in children. It's called multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children. It's not yet known what causes it or who's at risk of developing it. And new tonight, an estimated 1 out of 3 U.S. military service members eligible for a vaccine have turned it down. A Pentagon official shared the early estimate with the House Armed Services Committee today. Now, that percentage just about mirrors the vaccine acceptance rate of the general U.S. population. The Defense Department has now vaccinated more than 900,000 service members. Well, let's go to weather now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us from the backyard patio. Gary?
It's a quiet night out here. Not much of a breeze, and temperatures, while cold, not as bitterly cold as they have been in recent nights. Doppler track shows some light snow across northern Illinois and some scattered flurries elsewhere. It's possible we could see a couple of stray flurries tonight or through the day tomorrow, but most of us will probably miss out on most of those. Low temperatures last night were pretty cold, down to 14 below zero in Madison, 20 below zero in Lone Rock, but there were a few places like Mineral Point and Monroe that either stayed at or slightly above zero. High temperatures today generally were in the upper teens. Janesville did top out at 21 degrees, but still, that was a couple degree improvement over yesterday. And temperatures right now, while in the single digits above zero, probably won't fall too much further thanks to the cloud cover that'll be thickening up over the next few hours. Wind chills, not much of a factor either. So look for temperatures to be around 4 or 5 degrees by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Look for a high tomorrow of 22. There might be a stray flurry or two. Otherwise, just look for a quiet weather pattern into the weekend as temperatures get up closer to normal. Have more details in weather in just a few minutes.
Okay, Gary, thanks. New tonight, a Partyville man who had not been seen in more than 2 months has been found safe. The Columbia County Sheriff's Department sent out a missing persons alert for 40-year-old Neil Agnew just this morning. They say he had left his home back on December 1st without a wallet, a phone, or even a vehicle. The Wisconsin Crime Alert System says he was found tonight safe around 8:30. Federal investigators are now at the scene of that deadly plane crash that happened in Rock County yesterday. The Rock County Sheriff's Department expects them to be there for the next day or so. In addition to the NTSB, the FAA will also join the investigation. That plane went down yesterday and crashed into a wooded area about a mile south of the Southern Wisconsin Regional Airport in Janesville. The 2 people on board died. Their names have not yet been released. Nearly 130 cars have been stolen in Madison so far this year. That's more than 2 per day. And today, Madison's new police chief, Dr. Sean Barnes, says teenagers are the ones driving this crime.
Over the past weekend, the Madison Police Department apprehended juveniles connected with some of our recent car thefts, purse snatchings, and car crashes. One of these teenagers was found wearing a court-ordered GPS monitoring device. So far, in 2021, teenagers have represented nearly 50% of the arrests made for stolen cars.
Now, there's a local program that is helping turn kids away from these types of crimes. Operation Fresh Start's Drive to Success program focuses on kids ages 16 to 21 who haven't graduated high school. Executive Director Greg Markle says the program helps them get their diplomas and licenses to help them get back on the right track.
We've definitely seen some success with driver's license attainment, and folks really realizing that there's other options, that there's positive ways to get what you need in society to succeed.
Each participant is connected with a mentor who helps them along the way. That program has about 20 participants a year. If you know a young adult who would be a good fit for the program, reach out to Operation Fresh Start. We have their contact information on our website, channel3000.com. A Dane County woman accused of looting and damaging businesses during last summer's unrest in Madison has pleaded guilty to the crimes. 20-year-old Gabrielle Kokesh of Wanakee was arrested in June and charged with burglary and criminal damage to property. Police said she participated in looting last August and was also caught on video kicking in and entering a store in May. Today, a Dane County judge did not immediately sentence Kokesh, but referred her to the county's deferred prosecution program, so if completed, her case could be dismissed. Turnout in Wisconsin spring primary yesterday barely topped 7%. That's 1/10 of what we saw just 3 months ago in the presidential election. The only statewide race on yesterday's ballot was the nonpartisan race for state superintendent of schools. The race drew little attention in the days leading up to the vote, and the low turnout was not a surprise. Based on unofficial numbers, just shy of 325,000 people voted statewide in the superintendent's race. The 2 superintendent finalists will be Jill Underly and Deborah Kerr. Both had about 27% of the vote yesterday. Kerr is the former superintendent in Brown Deer. That's just north of Milwaukee. Underly is the current superintendent in the Pecatonica Area School District, and they'll face off in the general election. That's set for April 6th. School District of Beloit says Dr. Daniel Keyser will be its next superintendent. He was one of 3 finalists for the position. A news release said community members, families, staff, and students were involved in the selection. He had served as interim superintendent for the last 8 months and has more than 23 years of experience in education. His contract will begin on July 1st. A 33-year-old Milwaukee Bucks executive and the son of a billionaire is running for the U.S. Senate for Wisconsin in 2022.
We all too often, I think, see in Washington is people talking about the problems rather than actually trying to do something about it. For office now.
Democrat Alex Lasry announced his Senate bid today in a YouTube video. He is running for the seat currently held by Republican Senator Ron Johnson, joining Democratic Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson as the only 2 announced candidates in that race. Now, Senator Johnson has not yet said if he's going to seek a 3rd term. Lasry, a New York City native, his father is Bucks co-owner Mark Lasry. Conservative talk radio host Rush Limbaugh has died. Limbaugh's wife made that announcement on his radio show today. He had been battling stage 4 lung cancer since last February. The day after his cancer announcement, former President Trump awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Limbaugh began his nationally syndicated conservative political radio show back in 1988. He was 70 years old. And tonight, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says he has sent a letter to Governor Evers requesting the flag statewide be lowered to half-staff in honor of Rush Limbaugh. Speaker Vos said Limbaugh was a pioneer in talk radio who inspired generations to become active in politics. Vos said lowering the flags would be a show of respect and bipartisanship. Still ahead tonight at 10, a bitter cold and wreaking havoc still on parts of Texas, leaving many without power for several days. Plus, what was once one of the most popular casinos on the East Coast comes crashing down. That story when we come back.
Looking for a sofa? Looking for a chair? You haven't shopped furniture in Madison until you've shopped Dwellings, Madison's best-kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous new showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Madison Magazine's Restaurant Week is new and updated for 2021. Participating restaurants will provide a 3-course menu at a special price for dining in at the restaurant or for takeout that you can enjoy at home. Dining with a choice. Don't miss Restaurant Week 2021, February 22nd through the 27th. Brought to you by the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, helping veterans, elderly, and disabled neighbors in need. For Restaurant Week menus and details, visit MadisonMagazine.com.
Right now, you can join Planet Fitness for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. We're keeping things squeaky clean with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out while you work out. And check out the crowd meter in our free app to pick the best time to visit. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Join in club or at planetfitness.com.
Sign up today for $0 down, no commitment. Hurry, offer ends February 26th.
You may not know them. The coffee shop owner who knows your order. The couple who saves your seats. The family down the street who greets you with a smile. They've been there for you. Now you can be there for them. Donate today and help our friends and neighbors keep their power on.
Don't let uneven surfaces slow down your shoveling next winter. Let Concrete Lifting Technologies raise up your uneven pavement. Our minimally intrusive procedure uses polyurethane to level sunken concrete and provide a level surface. Why replace your concrete when you can lift it? For a free quote, call Concrete Lifting Technologies today.
Looking for a sofa? Looking for a chair? You haven't shopped furniture in Madison until you've shopped Dwellings, Madison's best-kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous new showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
They faithfully serve the healthcare needs of our precious pets, but local veterinarians are struggling.
We've got this high increased demand of caseload, as well as a struggling workforce.
How COVID is creating a veterinary care crisis. Thursday on News 3 Now at 10. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The Internal Revenue Service says it has sent out all 147 million checks from the December stimulus package. The IRS was required to issue the $600 payments by mid-January so it could move on to processing this year's tax returns. In total, about $142 billion was sent out to help Americans. Congress is considering that third round of payments. Lawmakers hope to get that legislation passed by mid-March. Well, some good news tonight for retailers. The Commerce Department says sales increased last month for the first time since September. Retail sales jumped 5.3%. In fact, economists only expected sales to grow about 1%. Experts think spending will get another boost from the president's proposed $1.9 trillion stimulus plan we mentioned, which includes those additional direct checks for certain Americans. A staple of Atlantic City, New Jersey is no longer a part of the skyline there. Crews imploding Trump Plaza today. It opened back in 1984 as the largest hotel and casino in Atlantic City. It was the venue for popular acts, including George Carlin, Diana Ross, Frank Sinatra. But by the early 2010s, the hotel was the lowest performing casino in Atlantic City. Eventually, it closed by 2014. Yet another major winter storm is in the forecast for large parts of the South, the Mid-Atlantic, and northeastern states. At least 24 people have died now in the extreme weather this week. Nancy Chen has the latest from New York.
Fierce winter storms are bringing a week of misery to millions across the U.S. Heavy snows, frigid temperatures, and widespread power outages are slamming Texas.
This is no longer just an emergency. It's clear that it is a disaster.
Snow and icy roads are straining cars throughout the South, including along the border with Arkansas. So many pipes have now burst in Texas, the governor is asking for help from out-of-state plumbers. Stephen and Laura Dandridge have been living in the dark for most of the past 3 days with their year-old son. It's been so cold, they're storing food in the garage.
When the sun goes down, you know, it's you can't keep open flames going. You got to turn the stove off.
With more bad weather expected for much of the nation, people rushed to stores Wednesday in Memphis, Tennessee.
I barely found bread, so everybody's getting stocked up. The shelves are getting empty.
The winter onslaught is also causing problems in COVID-19 vaccination efforts.
We have experienced delays in vaccine shipments due to the bad weather.
Indiana officials say the state had to temporarily close dozens of vaccine sites this week. And winter sledding fun came close to tragedy when a young Tennessee boy fell into a river.
It's pretty scary because he was a little kid. To see him go in and then the mom go in and to hear some screams.
Local firefighters helped bring the boy and his mom to safety. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Texas officials say it could be days before power is restored for millions of people. This winter storm also causing travel headaches, as you might imagine. Just today, more than 2,300 flights heading into or out of the U.S. were canceled. Travel from Texas especially is affected, with more than 1,000 flights being axed at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, as well as Dallas's Love Field. And check this out. It's not only people that are impacted by the cold down in Texas. Thousands of sea turtles also have been saved. Texas game warden shared these pictures on Twitter. According to the state's Parks and Wildlife Department, these sea turtles were unable to swim in waters that were simply too cold. Those turtles are now being moved to a warmer area. So many people and animals affected. Gary Canalti watching us. We try to get out of the deep freeze here, Gary, slowly, but by a week from now, we might feel a little better.
Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks with very cold temperatures here. In fact, if you take a look at February temperatures, we've only had 2 days where temperatures have been above normal. That's the 1st and the 4th, and only by a couple of degrees. We've been below normal every other day, and in fact, we're looking at most of these days, especially over the last week and a half, running between about 15 and 30 degrees below average. That's pretty significant. And just looking at this winter as a whole, we've had 12 straight days below zero. Now, hopefully we won't drop below zero before tomorrow morning. If so, then tomorrow we would stay above zero for the first time after those 12 days. 15 days this month, we've seen below normal temperatures. But if you look at the winter as a whole, meteorological winter, which comprises the full months of December, January, and February, and we're about halfway through February right now. So far, we've had 47 days where temperatures have been above normal and only 31 days with below normal temperatures. But out of those 31 days, about half of them have been this month, and most of those have been significantly colder than normal, whereas those days where we've seen above normal temperatures, it's been by a few degrees. So temperatures about 3.5 degrees above normal for December, same for January. So far this month, we're 17.7 degrees below normal. As we look at current temperatures, Madison is actually one of the colder temperatures around. Winds are pretty light, so the elevation is a little bit lower, like at the airport in Madison. The cold air tends to drain there a little bit. We have skies becoming a little thicker with cloud cover, and as that happens, temperatures actually may rise a couple of degrees overnight, but these are about as low as we're expecting them to get. And notice wind chills, about the same as the temperatures, meaning there's very little breeze out there. Doppler track does show some light snow across northern Illinois, some flurries on the northern edge of that system. We could see a couple of flurries here tonight and tomorrow. For the most part, the accumulating snow will stay to our south. You can see visibilities around 7 miles in Moline, Illinois, 2.5 miles in Des Moines, Iowa, but at or above 10 miles for most of the major reporting stations across the state of Wisconsin. We're on the northern fringes of that big storm system, sweeping through the southeastern part of the country now with snow and freezing rain, some showers down to the south, but this will head into the Ohio Valley and then eventually up toward New York City and Boston. So that'll be the area next impacted by this storm. But we're just on the cold side of the storm, and eventually that jet stream will start moving back northward, and as it does so, we'll actually see the cold start to move out. And while all the warnings and advisories are down to our south, right now, for the first time, we don't have any advisories or warnings, even for wind chills across our state. For tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 22 degrees. It will be variably cloudy, so a few peaks of sun mixed in and perhaps a couple of flurries. Otherwise, we'll go a little colder on Friday with a high of 17, down to 4 below zero Saturday morning, but up to 21 Saturday, 31 on Sunday. We'll see some light snow Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, maybe an inch or two of accumulation. Then we could be close to 40 by Tuesday. A storm system toward the latter part of next week could bring some mixed precipitation, maybe a little bit of light snow in there as well, but that's still a ways off.
It would be nice just to get back closer to normal, Gary. Thank you. Still to come tonight, bridging the political divide through conversation. We'll introduce you to a nationwide grassroots effort to unify the country. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Every year, thousands of Wisconsin residents make the difficult choice between eating or heating their home. So News 3 Now and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund would like to thank all who donated to our Week of Warmth. Your generous gifts of warmth will directly help your neighbors in crisis. For more information about the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, visit kwwf.org. Week of Warmth for the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, sponsored by Viridian Homes.
Are you sick of the areas of your home being cold in the winter or hot in the summer? Your house is a complete system of components that need to work together, similar to the human body. Just like us, your home needs to breathe too. If we're letting our home breathe fresh air, we'll be healthier and regulate our temperature better. Wouldn't it be great if we could show you all the areas needing improvement in just minutes without tearing the house apart? That is what our thermal imaging does for you. It will show the temperature differences and areas of air exchange. Then you'll know what areas need to be improved. Just like going to the doctor, except these doctors do house calls. This will also help in preventing the entrance of harmful pollutants inside your house. You can now easily bring down the energy bills and have a durable and safe home environment with Fry Construction. Visit fryconstruction.com to schedule your free professional house call with a thermal imaging and insulation specialist.
Madison Magazine's Restaurant Week is new and updated for 2021. Participating restaurants will provide a 3-course menu at a special price for dining in at the restaurant or for takeout that you can enjoy at home. Dining with a choice. Don't miss Restaurant Week 2021, February 22nd through the 27th. Additional support provided by Wisconsin Beef Council and E&J Gallo Winery. For Restaurant Week menus and details, visit madisonmagazine.com.
Stop into Rubens today for our annual dining sale. Save up to 40% on fine dining. Rubens has beautiful dining room tables, chairs, and buffets for your home. Choose from sleek, modern dining imported from Italy. Solid birch dining in all finishes and sizes. Invest in heirloom furniture. Rubens has many dining tables and chairs in stock for immediate delivery. As always, Rubens designers offer free design service. Come in today for Rubens' annual dining room sale on now.
You may not know them. The coffee shop owner who knows your order. The couple who saves your seats. The family down the street who greets you with a smile. They've been there for you. Now you can be there for them. Donate today and help our friends and neighbors keep their power on.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The U.S. Navy has seized an illegal shipment of weapons off the coast of Somalia. The crew aboard the USS Winston Churchill discovered thousands of AK-47 assault rifles, light machine guns, heavy sniper rifles, rocket-propelled grenade launchers, and other weapons on board this small boat. The weapons were seized. The crew was given food and water and then released. The United States may be at its most polarized point in recent memory, and repairing those breaks in society is no easy task. Correspondent Natalie Brand spoke with some braver angels, a 15,000-member bipartisan group working to bridge the political divide by talking and listening.
Cincinnati, Alaska.
Colorado, love it. Alaska.
Thousands of members of a national citizens movement called Braver Angels gathered virtually to try and heal 1 week after rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol.
Something is broken in our country.
David Blankenhorn co-founded the nonprofit after the 2016 presidential election. He says what seems like unprecedented polarization then is now even worse.
There is a widespread heart sickness in the country over this. So many millions of Americans do not like this.
A recent CBS News poll found a majority of voters in each party have unfavorable views of those on the other side. The goal of Braver Angels is to encourage understanding through conversation.
I will admit the work of depolarization is hard. Everyone should be quick to listen.
Reverend Franklin Ruff of Stillwell, Kansas, describes himself as a right-leaning moderate.
Part of the problem I think we have is that we don't live around and we don't associate or talk to people who have a different worldview than we do.
Why has that trend increased?
I think that we are comfortable when we're around people who see the world the same way that we do.
Ruff practices his outreach even at home. He and his wife have only voted for the same presidential candidate twice in 24 years.
We agree about more than we disagree about.
That's something Democrat Thomas Reeves of Annapolis, Maryland, has discovered through Braver Angels as well.
Quite often I've found that we're trying to get to the same place. We just come at it from different perspectives.
The group saw a membership surge in January, with the nation trying to move forward after another divisive election.
We have to see people as human beings, and we have to be humble enough to realize that even in our worldview, we're wrong about some things.
Reverend Ruff says humanity and humility remain guiding principles to forming a more perfect union. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Braver Angels has members in all 50 states. Organizers say the point of their workshops and debates isn't to make everyone a centrist, but to see each other as citizens. We'll be right back.
President's Day means more savings at the Brothers Maine President's Day Super Sale. Get in right now for the sale of the season with more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We've got a lot more satisfaction for you at Maine, like up to 18-month 0% financing and free delivery to make life a little easier. Hey, there's more home satisfaction at the Moore store. The President's Day Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction today at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
It's time to upgrade your downtime. It's time for Stressless. Now at the Century House. Go from one grade of leather to a higher one for free. Or save $300 on Stressless Sunrise recliners. Don't wait. Save hundreds on Stressless comfort. At the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
At GHC, we want you to be safer at home. We have more ways for you to get care anywhere, anytime, day or night. Be seen, be safe, be home. We will get through this together. and we will all get better together.
Madison Magazine's Restaurant Week is new and updated for 2021. Participating restaurants will provide a 3-course menu at a special price for dining in at the restaurant or for takeout that you can enjoy at home. Dining with a choice. Don't miss Restaurant Week 2021, February 22nd through the 27th. Brought to you by the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, helping veterans, elderly, and disabled neighbors in need. For Restaurant Week menus and details, visit MadisonMagazine.com.
This is the new Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic, and it responds to snoring automatically. So no more nudging your partner or opting for the couch. Because the Tempur Ergo Smart Base is our first system that detects snoring and automatically adjusts to help reduce it. Your best sleep, all night, every night.
And right now, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Menards has the best and brightest ideas for lighting your home. Explore our lighting showroom and get the update you're looking for in any room. Find your style with over 1,000 options with Patriot Lighting. Add a sophisticated look with the Chantel Collection. The chandelier is just $124.99. Or choose an industrial style with the Steel Collection. This 6-light island light is only $179.99 during Menards Race to Savings Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Before you make plans, download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally, tonight, of course, it's still very much winter here in Wisconsin, but it's feeling a little more like spring. Check it out. Pitchers and catchers for the Milwaukee Brewers began reporting to spring training in Phoenix today. The Brewers will look to bounce back from a somewhat disappointing 2020 season. Now, they still made the playoffs, but finished with a losing 29-31 record. Opening day scheduled for April 1st in Milwaukee against the Minnesota Twins. Gary, who do the Cubs open up with?
The Pirates at Wrigley Field, and the Cubs signed Jake Arrieta and Pedro Strop. World Series, here we come.
We got some sports news in tonight
right.
as well. How about the weather? Final check, Gary.
Temperatures right now running in the single digits, above zero here in Madison, about 4. These temperatures will hold nearly steady overnight. Look for a high temperature tomorrow of about 22, maybe a flurry during the day, and then temperatures should gradually make it back to normal by early next week. Some snow chances Sunday, and then some mixed precipitation Thursday.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. Have a great night.